Welcome to another episode of Mike Talk. I am your host, Mike the Realtor, right? Happy Monday. I'm excited. Mondays are probably my favorite day of the week. And I know people look at me like I'm crazy because of that, but I love Mondays. They just prepare me for the week so I can focus and bring you awesome interviews and get out there and help my clients. That's very important. But we're coming to a place right now with what we call in the post-pandemic, right? We've all have gone through so much, and businesses were shut down. Some were, unfortunately, they weren't able to reopen, right? And the restaurant business took a major hit, right? And we saw some of our favorite places never reopen again, and that sucks, right? And today's guest, I'm excited to introduce to you guys because not only is he Mexican American, right? Comes to America in the mid '80s, and for me, it's like my dad was Mexican, right? He came to this country with nothing, right? And so, what a dream! And today's guest not only came with that, but I think that he's well on his way to that dream, pretty much coming true, right? Let me welcome to you guys, without further ado, right? He is the first Mexican American to lead the Illinois Restaurant Association, right? He's the head man of Moe's Cantina. We have been there many times to watch games. He is Old Crow Smokehouse main guy, Treehouse, and also has John Barleycorn, right? I know that he had it before, but I know, well, at least we hope it's going to come back. Without further ado, let me just stop rambling. My buddy, Sam Sanchez, welcome to the show, Sam.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Good to see you this morning. Good morning. Good morning, your listener.
Good morning. I'm sorry, I'm a little amped. It's the
No. Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words here.
It's the Bustelo. Sam, what's going on? How are you doing? I mean, you are called to this big opportunity, considering the restaurants, the post-pandemic. What's going on? Talk to us a little bit about what's going on around you right now.
You know, Mike, I mean, who would thought that we're going to all shut down in the pandemic and going struggle up and down. Sitting on the board of the Illinois Restaurant Association for a while, and after the riots and everything, you get more involved. So, I'm chairman now, at the Illinois Restaurant Association, sit on the board of the Chicago Police Foundation, and a few other boards, Lakeview East, and what you do is, you kind of put yourself aside and look at the need of every small business owner out there. So we definitely went out there. It's not over because 2/3 of the restaurant did not receive the funds from the federal government, and it's not coming anymore. So hard for them to survive. I don't know how they're going to survive. We keep advocating for them and fighting for them. Some of the really small restaurants never got money, bad bookkeeping, paid cash, couldn't get the PPP, maximize the PPP, the RRF. It's a sad story. No matter how you look at it, you lose your restaurant, you lose your home, you lose everything. So here we are, trying to come out of post-pandemic, and people are very receptive that we're still open and small places are open, and they're back out. People are out spending money.
That's great. Now, you had John Barleycorn on Clark. We were looking for, we're like, what's going on? But I know that you moved a couple stories down. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, but back in the 80s, I traveled back and forth. I grew up in Mexico, traveled back and forth here and from Mexico to Chicago, spent my summer vacation, which is the best part of Chicago, right? You got the best part of all life. You got summer in the winter, in Mexico in the winter, and summer in Chicago. Decided to stay when I was 15 years old, looking for something to do. I was not a high school guy, then not a school guy, but family comes from hardworking. My first job was a porter at Marina Towers at the bowling alley. My first day of work was St. Patty's, a Saturday parade. I spent most of my time in my washroom. I said, I'll never want to be in this industry. Here we are. Here we are. But so the John Barleycorn label is a great label. We sold them all. Sold the building, the last one on Clark Street. The original is on Lincoln Avenue. That's where it was. That's where it started. I still have the collection of ships hoping to reopen this a small one just for me to hang out with my friends. But yeah, so I'm very very lucky, blessed, and grateful. Very very grateful. It's something. To say that these opportunities come for someone, on an entry level position, starting to washing dishes, kitchen, busboy, bar back. I mean, whatever it took, is the amount of hours you put in, worked 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. And it was, I mean, you got to love it. You got to love it.
Absolutely.
And,
Now, I
and
think
to be able to do this, you got to love it.
absolutely, and I think that was with everything. But I think I wanted you to touch on that because back to the pandemic and the riots, I think that's what makes so many business owners be so passionate and come outside and had to protect their stuff, right? And now, not only did you have to do that, but physically, probably, right, during the riots, but now it's almost like you've been called to repair the restaurant industry and kind of with the city as well, right? Because there was like, there's just a lot of stuff that was going on. And so you're called now to be the voice. Not only were you the voice of the community, but for the Illinois Restaurant Association. Now, as the chairman, that's a big deal. What are your plans for this now to kind of like bring some reparation there?
Yeah, I'm just want to jump on this really quick because I mean you don't get a chance to put this out there as much as I want. I mean the media is still still crafting the crime issue over here.
That's
I
right.
mean we're still bringing the restaurants alive. We're still working the restaurant the industry. We're still I know the state has money, the city has money. Try to take care of the small guys. But our biggest problem is I said it before many times. So I was asked in an interview, what are you worried about? What worries you more? The pandemic, the virus, or the crime. And the virus, there's a vaccine for the virus, and we know we were going to get through it. There is no vaccine for crime, and that is so scary to know that people cannot walk their dogs at night or in the afternoon or at night. The crime is totally out of control. So I'm lucky enough that I have daughters and a good staff that they're running the businesses now. So I spend about more than 80% of my time advocating with elected officials. That means with working group on the crime bill in Springfield. We just started a new group. We got 2 weeks to to amend it, because I mean there is some flaws in it. And I spent a lot of time with police, spent a lot of time with the mayor's office, spent a lot of time with meetings, and the whole idea is to bring awareness to what's going on in the city of Chicago, and people know
Mm-hmm.
the crime, but the thing is that I mean here's how you look at it. You could call the mayor Lori Lightfoot all day long and tell her keep people in jail. That's not her job. The people that are responsible for the crime is the Cook County prosecutor Kim Fox and Chief Justice Tim Mavis. I have met with both of them. Met with hour 15 minutes. It was a long. I thought I was gonna be asked to leave in 15 minutes, but she gave me enough time. Appreciate it. I mean, finger pointed back and forth. The judge's fault. Met with the judge. Great politician, the judge. Oh my God! No, he'll hug you. No, he'll win you over. But
Yeah, judges are lawyers.
yeah, and he'll point the finger back at the prosecutor Kim Fox. And I'm gonna quote the judge on this because if you hear our elected officials talked about it, it's unconstitutional to hold someone without bail. That is true. The Eighth Amendment talks about that, but it also the Supreme Court ruled that is not an absolute right when you're a danger to society. And this is when you hold criminals and you got repeat violent offenders. The mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, has requested from Chief Justice Tim Evans to not release violent repeat offenders. And we're talking about people who kill, try to kill, murder. I mean, they kill 2-year-old, 8-year-old. I mean, they keep putting it. I mean, what broke my heart, I mean, on the corner of Dearborn and Ontario, Chase Bank, young lady got up, went to work, 11-time felon who previous years hit a woman, some tourist in the head with a hammer. She stabbed and killed her. I went to the corner and it broke down. I said, this is too much. And I stepped away a little bit from my businesses, a lot from my business, and dedicated myself to crime. So the reality is, I mean, if I sit down and I could put everybody in the same room, maybe it could get resolved. But that's not, the thing is, the people have to hold them accountable. Yeah. The Democratic Party has to hold their people that they're supporting accountable. Otherwise, the whole party is going to crash. And we see this nationwide. The crime is nationwide. But the city of Chicago to us is dear to us because the people in Chicago are the most wonderful
That's
people
right.
and the most giving
That's
people.
right.
And we see this every day.
Yes.
How do we save our city? How do we save our city, Mike? And Mike, I'm sorry, I know you want to say something, Mike,
No,
but
and
I
you
got
know
this
what? I'm
opportunity.
glad. Let me tell you, right now, Sam. Like this is what I want to hear. This is what we want to hear. You're here. You're Mexican American. You're leading the Illinois Restaurant Association right now, and you're not just doing it with the restaurants. You're doing it for our communities and for our neighbors to be safe. Please do take the mic. Go ahead. I want.
Through the Illinois Restaurant Association and the ability of being a voice for a lot of people, we took that lead and to fight crime and advocate for the victims and people who are living in our community. So we were able to build a coalition with the Illinois Merchant Association, the Hotel Association, Lakeview Association, Village Chain Foundation,
Essentially,
Backyard.
collectively, you're just gathering this soldiers.
Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So we have six of the largest associations in the state of Illinois, okay, advocating, writing letters to President Tony Portwinkle, writing letters to the mayor, writing letters to State Attorney Kim Fox. We did the interview. I mean, we met with her for about an hour, 15 minutes. Now we met with Chief Justice Tim Evans. And here is this quote, which I said I was going to say. And I'm going to say, because I asked him, the judge, I said, why are we not keeping violent criminals, people who kill children? I mean, and for example, and I told him, 16-year-old person, I mean, well, he's not a person, carjacked twice, armed carjack in Little Village, shot a bullet a block away, killed an 8-year-old little girl while she was crossing the street holding her mom's hand. That has to stop. That 16-year-old who carjacked violently twice should not have been on the street. And I asked the judge, and the judge replied, Sam, next time you talk to Kim Fox, tell her I am not throwing her under the bus, but if she were to request for violent, and this is his word, this is not a law. It says anyone who's a clear and present danger, she should request for them to be held without bail. And I said, yes. I said, but why is she not? I said, you need to ask her. So, but the judge could do that also. Okay, so they could point fingers at each other. So we're working with the state legislators right now to be able, and I mean with the chairman of the Black Caucus on Friday. Okay, and this is what we do: try to find out. We don't want to put people in jail. We don't want to put petty peace and small little crimes. This don't could use the electronic monitor. But if you have a gun and you carjack and you murder, you try to murder, you shoot, you don't belong on the street. You are a clear and present danger. And I'm quoting the judge. If you're clear and present danger, you don't belong on the street. You should not be bailed out. You should not have an electronic monitor. It doesn't matter if you have money or have a lot of money. Those are the dangers people want to take out. We are pushing this agenda really strong. I saw the mayor Saturday, Saturday night. I was with her, and
I was going to ask you about that because I knew you were going to have a meeting with her, and so I was like, okay, I don't know, am I going to touch this topic? But yes, please, we want to know how that meeting went. How did it go?
Yeah, so we met with the mayor. I mean, we were there for a couple hours, and we chatted a little bit here and there, and I confirmed it because this is the second time I tell her. The mayor, we are going to take her message. We're going to deliver the message about the moratorium on violent criminals and repeat offenders. And she told me, yes. It goes, I need help on that. So I'm asking, I mean, we all need help. We all need help on this. We need to push the agenda. We need to call our elected officials. That means everybody. I mean, you can tell your alderman, call your alderman, your state representative, your state senator, your a Cook County commissioner. I mean, the more calls we get in there and make it more publicly and post it on social media. It is not your right, a constitutional right to go and put people in danger. It is not an absolute right.
Yeah.
Our job is to protect
Yeah.
the citizens.
That's right. How can we, as a community, Chicago, starting from Logan Square, Pilsen, Little Village, how can we, as a community, start helping you? Or I know we help by going to our favorite restaurants, our community restaurants, but how else can we push?
Right now, I mean, the restaurants need all the support. I mean, we're short staffed. We're definitely short staffed all over the place.
So you're hiring.
every day, every day.
There it is, guys. It's a job.
I gotta say this, and some people get upset with me, but the reality is that when we started bringing people back to work, a lot of people were collecting $1,000 a week on unemployment. And they were in Florida and they were traveling. I mean, I follow a lot of people on social media. So they're all over the place. The undocumented were the ones that bail out the restaurants, and the high school students. I gotta tell you that the high school students, they don't collect unemployment. And I saw high school students step up to the plate
Awesome.
and went to wait tables. They became. Let me tell you, you gotta be 18 years old. I mean, these high schools they were 17 years old waiting tables. I mean, people did what they had to do to survive.
I was 13, Sam, and I rigged my birth certificate to say I was 16 so I can bust tables at a little restaurant in Lincoln Park.
And I tell you what a great experience. I mean, I saw my daughter last night. She worked yesterday in a restaurant, not mine, in another restaurant. And she told me, he goes, yeah, he goes, I was the only server to show up. 21 tables, made a lot of money. I said, and she was happy. She wasn't tired. I'm like, you know what? What a way for the young generation. They started this year. They started last year learning the appreciation of money and working hard. I think it's going to be a great generation coming up to help us lead our country. I'm really excited to see them because they were the backbone. They really helped these restaurants. I mean, come to, and a lot of other businesses, they weren't afraid to go to work. So we're excited.
And that's exciting for me too, and it's exciting I think for all of us. Also, as you talk about helping and as you talk about people coming together and trying to unite, I just saw you were part of the Chicago Cook for Ukraine, right? The Chicago Chefs Cook for Ukraine at Navy Pier, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the Illinois Restaurant Association, the foundation, but I mean, I tell you, the chefs are great. I mean, I showed up for a photo op. Those guys do all the work. I mean, honestly, I showed up. I mean, participated. We communicate. We donate money. We call up people. We shared information. Raised over $500,000.
Wow.
$500,000. I mean, the chefs did great. I mean, our office does great. So you usually see Sam Toya or Sam Sanchez on TV, but there's 8 girls in that office that run the show.
Yeah.
We just happen to they work hard. The other day I parked in a garage and by myself, and I think about it. It goes, how does a woman feel walking in a garage by herself to go into work? How unsafe they feel. I mean, I felt unsafe.
Sheesh.
And those are the scary things, and we gotta keep hammering it. So we gotta keep following and posting and sharing information. I see more information being shared now than it was before. So I mean, we're doing our job, but we still have to get our elected officials involved.
So I think that's a perfect right segue for those who want to help, right? I mean, we have friends in the restaurant industry. You know, I have a good friend who's La Scarola, right? He's Armando. He's a good friend of mine. We have Isan, Café con Leche, you know, the mayor of Milwaukee Avenue. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? So we try to support each other by just being there and spending some money there, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like when they're open, serving us to a degree because they can't open the doors completely at that moment. I think that those who survived, you know, probably barely survived.
Another big issue we're dealing with in our industry. You used to go out and buy a taco for $2. Now they're $5. It's not because the restaurant owner is trying to make up for the pandemic. Is the cost of good has increased a double. I mean, we went from a case of chicken of $60 to $120. The wings went from $40. I mean, it was high as $140. Went $100 more a case. So we have to pass that cost down to the consumer. And meat, everything, double the price, and labor is 30%. So when people were talking about raising minimum wage, that's gone. I mean, if we complain about paying $15 an hour, we're offering 18, 19, $20. I mean, anybody wants to come into work. What a great opportunity to come in and start at the bottom, making some good money. I mean, making money, $18, $20, and work your way out to be a manager. Because every person that works in the industry has that opportunity. I was just at Kendall College Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Before I went to see the mayor. At Kendall College, yeah, there was a lot of students there and juniors and seniors from different high schools around the city, and they were taking the culinary class. And and I told them, I said, it wasn't too long ago that I was sitting right across on the other side, listening to someone else talk, which was my father, my uncles, tell me, hey, you gotta go to work. Don't be afraid of work. And it is you could start washing dishes. This is the only industry I know that you can start in the bottom and end up being a manager, owner. I mean, it's unlimited. And I know so many people that started in the bottom and now they're old, multiple restaurants, not one, but multiple restaurants. So this is a great industry, but it is hard work.
And it goes to speak to the character, right, of a lot of these owners, right, like yourself, like the Armandos, like the Isams, right, because this is all they've been doing for so long, and they've put their heart and soul and money behind all this to serve us. Yeah. Sam, what is in the future right now for you and the big group, the third hospitality group? Like, what's in the future now for you guys? Are you guys building more restaurants, more bars, more Final Four places we could go and eat and watch these games?
Yeah, so Mike, there's a lot of restaurants out for sale right now. I mean, the right now we got to make sure we're safe. I mean, my daughter opened a restaurant in Pilsen. You know, she's doing on 18th and Racine La Luna.
Yes.
She's she looked at a couple of opportunities in the airport, look up opportunities and different spots. They did this year, and for Third Coast Hospitality is to find a good investment. We're not going to jump into something just to do it. But yeah, we will continue to open restaurants. We are going to continue to open restaurants. We are looking at a state. We're looking at a couple other ideas. But yeah, we're hoping that Third Coast, grows, and I could be able to, take a little seat back and spend time with my parents, which I'm blessed to have them. Right. Mom's going to be 90 in July. Ooh. 90, and she's still driving, Mike.
Your mom's 90 and she's driving?
But that's okay.
I'm going to be careful now. Oh, that could be Sam's mom. I'm not going to beat the horn at her.
We don't let her drive. Yeah, we don't let her drive in Chicago, but she'll drive in Mexico. That's fine. And when I get to the point again, all of that doesn't mean anything if our family and our friends, our employees, our neighbors are not safe in the city of Chicago. And we're going to keep nailing that. 9 months more as a chairman of the Illinois Restaurant Association, and hope I could be loud enough for those. I'm not picking a fight, but I will fight for those who don't have a voice. And we're lucky to have a voice, and the IRA gave us a big voice, big microphone.
That's huge. That's huge. And that's why I wanted to give you that opportunity here on Mike Talk, is that you could voice everything that you're doing, not just for the restaurants. You're doing them for everyone who walks the streets of Chicago, and that is big. And so anything that has to do with that and giving back, that's why I wanted to get you on. I'm all for it. And so, Sam, if anyone wants to find you, if anyone wants to write a check, right, and say, how can we support? And I can't be there physically, but I can be there financially. How can anyone just get a hold of you, find you, and get behind this push? They don't have to necessarily be restaurant owners. I mean, these are all, could be entrepreneurs.
So, Mike, we do need help. I'd say where we need help. The Chicago Police Foundation purchased a lot of life-saving kits, which 90% of the time I use on victims on the streets. We try to support them with equipment for the police officers. We are starting a new venture, going to the Marine bases. It's going to be, we're calling it Bringing Heroes to Chicago. So we're going to bring the test to them at the Marine base, and we're going to go ahead and recruit them for our police department, go to the academy, train. We're looking at a $5,000 moving expenses for every hero that comes and joins the police department. So all that works in progress.
Wow.
So if you really want, I know everybody does. I know your listeners really want to help out. You can get a hold of me. Go on social media. I'm there. I reply on social media.
What's your social media?
And Sam Samco at Instagram, and Sam Sanchez at Facebook and Twitter. I'm Sam Samco. But here's the thing. You can write a check to the Chicago Police Foundation. We need to raise funds. We're short $1 million. We have a lot of money. We're setting aside $200,000 right now just to start recruiting. But we do need police officers, and we need to bring respect back to our city and our elders. And I would like to see every neighborhood sit down in their front yard again with their children, like I did with my grandfather.
Yeah, you guys heard it straight from the man, Sam Sanchez, the first Mexican-American chairman of the Illinois Restaurant Association. That's a big deal. Congratulations on everything. Congratulations on all you're doing, Sam. We're going to push. I'm going to push this. Guys, go and visit his places. They got great food, great environment. You got the new place in Pilsen called La Luna. You also have Moe's Cantina, good old Moe's, right? Old Crow Smokehouse. You have Treehouse, and of course, you have others that he's overseeing and a lot of other things. So also, we need help, right? We're trying to get these funds raised for the Chicago Police Foundation, right? Sam is trying to push this so that we could be safe on the streets, guys. I mean, isn't that what we want? Don't we want to raise our kids in a safe environment? And I get it. Like when we talk about putting people and locking them up, right? It's not just, that's a whole nother conversation, right? Where we can talk about reform, right? Because that's what I look to push for.
You know, Mike, that's one thing that for the past 20 years I've been advocating for trade schools. And, you know, these kids, there's so much money in the state. I mean, I don't know who they're kidding. The money's there. Listen, I talked to Susana Mendoza. I mean, they're paying their bills in 7 days. Okay, that means there's money. And then we got a lot of pandemic relief money from the federal government. Time to build trade schools. You want to take the gun off the kid's hand, you got to give them a hammer. You got to give them some tools. Give them a welding kit. Teach kids how to work. Help them out. I mean, I had a meeting with State Representative LaShawn Ford, and he submitted a request for trade schools. And I talked to Senator Antonio Munoz, Lisa Hernandez. So we're all in the bag and doing it. The thing is that, I mean, I am not the elected official. I'm just the guy. I'm the guy pushing the button. Let's go. We need trade schools in every community. So if we're going to change kids, we need to show them that, yes, you're going to be held accountable for violent crimes or any crime, but we're going to give you an option. You're going to become a carpenter, a plumber. I mean, a service provider. There is no service providers anymore.
And I think with that, there's no mental health help in these neighborhoods, right? It's not it's like because that's another thing for me, Sam. It's like, why can't we get any kind of mental health help, right? When we come in, you have veterans that come out of the military. There's so many. It's a whole nother topic that I can't wait to dive into someday. But that's part of the reform, right? It's like a trade school, and I can't pick up a hammer because I may use it on myself. It's like, or someone else. It's like, whoa, that's a whole nother, thing here. So, but that's where the mental health help can come in for people, and so I think that's what we lack as well, right?
So we see in the closing under the previous administration, Manuel, 7 mental health clinics. I mean, for whatever reason they closed them. I wasn't too much involved in the subject back then, but we definitely need them. We need the help. Mental. Cook County is really falling behind on this. I mean, they have to step up to the plate. It is critical because the homeless population is dangerous. I mean, we seen someone with a knife, try to attack our security ones, and it's the same guy. I said, well, the guy's sick. I'm like, well, put him in a hospital. I mean, they're neglecting a lot of the citizens by not providing mental health care.
Man, Sam, that's a whole nother topic that I can't wait to dive into with you someday. But again, I don't want to take up your time. I know you got to hit the road. Thank you again for taking a few minutes to spend with us and giving us, the gist on what's going on and how we could help. We have La Luna. We have all these places. We have the CPD, life-saving gifts. We have to give them some funds to the Chicago Police Foundation so that way we can help and do our part as much as we can. Sam, again, thank you so much. Guys, thank you for joining us on another episode of Mike Talk. Don't forget to subscribe to Mike Talk, my YouTube channel, Mike the Realtor, where you'll be able to hear and see more awesome people like Sam. Sam, thanks a lot again for being with us. Salud. Peace out. Till next time, everybody. So long.
Thank you.